Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the Can't Stop Talking podcast. I am so excited for today's episode because I think this is such a big belief in the coaching industry, and I want to squash it. You do not need to be fully healed to hit your income goal. Let me say that again. You do not need to be fully healed to hit your goals. And I've fallen into this trap many times of thinking I didn't hit that goal because I didn't manifest hard enough. I didn't get that client because I didn't manifest hard enough. I didn't say enough affirmations or journal enough. I didn't hit that launch goal. That piece of content didn't go viral because something is wrong with me and I am not fully healed. And once I get fully healed, that is when I will hit that goal. This to me is toxic positivity. And I actually fell into this so many times. And what happens is you make yourself feel bad that you didn't hit something because you felt, or you didn't hit this goal because you felt like you should have done more. You should have been more. You should have been perfect. Newsflash, there's no such thing as perfection. And if you're waiting till you're fully healed, you're never going to hit your goal because you're never going to be fully healed. And I think that I'm so passionate about this because I kind of just realized this a little bit ago, right? That I see so many people on the internet and it makes us saying like, I hit this launch because of this, right? Because I journaled and I did my affirmations and I got rid of all the limiting beliefs and I got my client because of this. And yes, I believe in manifestation, you guys know, and I've manifested in so many clients, but the feeling of I didn't get something because I didn't do XYZ, that's rooted in lack, right? And you're never going to get somewhere because of that. And what's going to happen is you're going to feel like you need to do more because as a society, we feel like we need to do more in order to deserve something, instead of realizing that you are innately worthy and deserving right effing now. And when you decide that, your goals come a lot faster. It is the same analogy of being like, and I know so many single people have fallen in this trap, me including, of like, you need to be fully healed to be in a relationship. And you know why that's bullshit? Because I know so many people that once they got into their relationship, that's when their triggers came up. That's when it was the time to work through them, right? On the job training. And so what I'm also realizing is that same analogy in coaching. You think that you need to be fully healed in order to coach someone, or think you need to be fully healed in order to get to your next income level. And that's bullshit. And why I notice that is because, and you guys have heard me maybe talk about this before, but when I entered my certification, I had already built my business. I had built my business, I was taking clients, and then I decided to do a certification because I'm obsessed with the mind and I really wanted to learn more about how our mind works. That was my truly only reasoning, right? And so when I joined that certification, I would get on calls with women and they would ask me about business and I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm taking a client. And they would be like, oh, you already have clients? And they were so shocked, right? They were like, how do you already have clients? And I was like, oh, because I first built my business and took clients, and then I decided to get my certification. And I kept talking to people, and everyone on the call had not had a business yet. Why? I came to the conclusion that they thought they needed this certification to feel worthy to coach people. And what actually happened is they would do the certification and they would feel like if they didn't do the certification, they didn't do every single step from this, 500-page book, that they weren't a good coach. And disclaimer, I'm obsessed with my certification. I love it so much. This is just what I saw would happen in these people's minds, right? And so because I started taking clients because I started coaching them and doing on-the-job training, I felt worthy of taking clients already. And the certification wasn't making me feel worthier. And then what I found is after people graduated, they still didn't take clients because they still felt like they need to do everything by the book or else it was not good enough. And that was stopping them from reaching their goals. You see what I'm saying? And so when we feel as though we need something in order to get something, that's what stops us. If you decide that you are worthy right now, regardless of your situation, to take those clients, to build that business, to post that piece of content, even if it's not perfect, to get to that launch goal, that's what brings it to you so much faster. I talked about on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, one of my friends from the last mastermind I did, she works with a really big name in the industry for housing, right? A guy on HGTV. And she told me, I was like, how the hell did you get this job? And she was like, well, I was in his program and I decided to go up to him and introduce myself and like pitch to him. And he was so shocked that he was like, I need you on my team. No one's ever done that. And now at every program, he says, everyone should be more like her. She had the balls to come up here and pitch me. If she had told herself that she was not worthy, if she had told herself that, she had to do X, Y, and Z in order to talk to him, if she had told herself that there was no way that she could, quantum leap and get to where she is without doing more and being more, then she wouldn't be in the position that she is now. Instead, she decided that she was worthy as she is, and she went up to him and decided to shoot her shot. What I am seeing is that feeling like you need to be fully healed is stopping you from taking the action. And when in reality, I say this a lot, I love journaling. I love my affirmations. I'm going to continue to do it. But sometimes all you need is to actually take the action to realize that there are no monsters under your bed, right? When it came to my fear of being seen, I journaled it out and I did all my affirmations. But it just came to one point where I had to literally get pushed off a cliff to be able, not literally, that was bad, but like, you know what I mean? I had to soar to be able to show up and get over this fear of being seen. What happened is one of my friends who was a coach, she was like, just go home and post a picture of yourself. And taking that action and posting that picture of myself resulted in me never getting off social media ever again, right? You guys can't go anywhere without seeing my face now. But it wasn't because I journaled and affirmed and waited for it to come to me. Yes, that helped me show up. But at the end of the day, it was ripping off that Band-Aid and taking that action. And so thinking that you didn't get something because you're not healed is BS. And it's stopping you from moving along. And just knowing that, yes, you can manifest and do all the things. And I will never stop manifesting. And it's 100% the reason that I got here. But not letting the fact that you didn't manifest what you think was in a right way, which that is also BS, because anyone who tells you their way is the right way for manifesting is bullshit, right? When it comes down to it, every technique is amazing, but the techniques are just used to get you into the feelings of what you want is possible, of what you want is already here. So if you can feel the feelings of what you want already being here on a daily basis, then you don't need the techniques, right? The techniques are just to get you into that feeling. And so I want you to know you can have everything you want right now. You are worthy, you are deserving, you are healed, and you are going to continue healing on the way. And so if that is stopping you from whatever it is in your life, investing in that next person, posting that picture, going on your stories, hitting your income goals, I want you to ask yourself, what would I be thinking, feeling, and doing right now if I already had what I wanted? And then show up as that person day in and day out. And don't let the affirming and the affirmations stop you from whatever it is that you're dreaming of, whatever it is that you're manifesting. You are ready. And the people who decide that they are worthy of it right now are the ones who quantum leap. They're the ones who show up differently. They're the ones who take the action. They're the ones who use the strategy and do it over and over again, right? And so if you are farther along in your journey, the mindset stuff is still needed, but it just becomes who you are. You are just someone who has this business, right? And I need to tell you something, that the people who are making millions of dollars, they're not fully healed. They just decided that they were worthy enough to do that and took the action and strategy to get there. The last thing I want to say is what I've been saying on my lives for a while, but don't when your life away, right? Don't decide when this happens, then I'll be able to take clients. When I get my certification, then I'll be able to take clients. When I figure out, what I want to do for my course topic, then I'll create my course, right? I mean, I guess that one's not as good, but like when I get the sales page done, I'll create my course. When I have a team member, then I'll be able to go on vacation, right? Stop winning your life away and decide that whatever you want, you can do right now. And there are ways and loopholes around it, and you can have anything you need in an easier way at this given moment. I love you guys so much. Message me if you liked this podcast episode. I love hearing from you guys. And all I wanted to say is I have spots for one-on-one coaching, and I have spots in my baby Dream Business Accelerator. That is my course on the A to Z for hitting 10K months, and there's 6 months of coaching. So if you want to be in my world for 6 freaking months, ending 2023 together, I would love that. So I love you guys. I hope you have the best day.